much. I'm gonna react to Quando and Rondo haunted life after the whole King Von incident.
When a real gangster get took out by like a nerd type.
When I die, my niggas is on slide every day.
No! No! 4 a.m., November the 6th, downtown Atlanta. 4 O-Block members are trailing behind King Von as he walks towards Quando Rondo and starts assaulting him. Lil Tim jumps out, aims a pistol towards King Von and strikes him 3 times. Davon Bennett would tragically lose his life at the age of 26. No story in recent memory has shook the rap community quite like this one.
That shit shocked me when I first saw that. It shocked me as well. They're like, damn, King Von. Like now, like I never like really like listened to. I wasn't like listening to King Von heavy, bro. I like some of his songs, but I wasn't listening to King Von heavy when he was alive. I'm not gonna lie.
The last 2.5 years have been brutal for Von's closest friends, but I could say the same for Quando Rondo and his crew. Numerous death threats.
On my head, that's what they say, that's all you got. Make it ain't.
Back-to-back attempts to take his life and his own cousin dying in front of his eyes in Los Angeles.
Victim is a friend of rapper Quando Rondo. The Atlanta-based performer shared this picture on Instagram today. According to the LAPD, the victim was ambushed by 3 men while getting gas on Friday.
This is a timeline of Quando Rondo's life following the night of King Von's death. February 5th, 2019, the Savannah Police Department would come raining down with a RICO indictment in their hands. It named 9 of Quando Rondo's friends as prime suspects of 40 cars that had been stolen from Savannah car dealerships since late December 2017. And amongst the 9 suspects was Quando Rondo's cousin, Savion Robinson, otherwise known as Lil Pub.
First on Fox and All New tonight, federal investigators say there's been a racketeering ring operating in Chatham County. Last week, federal and local law enforcement broke it up, sending at least 10 people to jail under a 71-count indictment. Fox 28's Robert Catanese shows us how officials took them down.
These 9 people are facing charges as part of a 71-count indictment after what police say was a year-long investigation.
Starting in December of 2017, the gang unit began an investigation into several auto thefts and car dealership burglaries.
According to the 26-page indictment, the group targeted car dealerships both in Southside and West Savannah off Chatham Parkway, as well as a number of residents.
The indictment explicitly details Lil Pub and 2 other men stealing 10 cars worth over $100,000 from the Chatham Parkway Collision Center between the 19th and 20th of August 2017. He was also charged with attempting to elude the police in a high-speed car chase from Georgia all the way to North Carolina, a charge he was going to plead guilty to when trial came around on August the 26th, 2022. But as we now know, he wouldn't be able to stand trial because a week before he was in Los Angeles.
The apparent target of this deadly gunfire, a rapper from the Atlanta area. They say a pretty well-known rapper too in this area, along with a second person in his black Cadillac Escalade. May have been a relative, may have been a member of his entourage, we don't know, but it's that second person, not the rapper, but the second person who was hit by gunfire, dies from the gunfire.
And while Lil Pub made bond and awaited trial on this RICO indictment, another friend of Quando would have his bond approved. Timothy Meeks would bond out of the Fulton County Jail and await trial for the murder of Davon Bennett. And as soon as he bonded out, his first order of business would be grabbing shovels from the garage and recording this scathing diss track on how he crossed his favorite alt off the list. And some people thought Lil Tim was doing God's work.
You said Lil Tim did God's work by killing King Von.
Yeah, King Von professed to be a demon. When did we start loving demons?
No, Charles been always been wilding, bro. He be wilding sometimes, but sometimes he do be like saying, like spitting like facts, or he do be like saying like bring up valid points, or he do be bringing up valid points. You feel me? Like he do. I ain't gonna lie.
It ain't Halloween year round. King Von was a talk about he bragged about it in songs, and then when he come up dead, you think that ain't the act of God to get rid of them? Lil Timmy ain't never promoted no killing. Lil Timmy was an angel. He was a peacekeeper.
May the 2nd, 2021. This is Quando Rondo's first show following King Von's demise in November the previous year. He's performing in Georgia in front of a small crowd, accompanied by his entourage on stage. And at 2:20 a.m., Quando and his entourage are at a convenience store in Blackshear. Shortly after, a car pulls up and unloads multiple shots towards Quando and his crew. One man was hit in the arm and received medical attention shortly after. While investigators arrived at the scene to take statements of any sort, Quando Rondo had already left. Now 2 months after this incident, he's on Clubhouse, talking recklessly alongside his cousin Lil Pub in regards to the shooting on May the 2nd to none other than OTF's very own Lil Vernie.
Lil Vernie, what's up, man?
What's the word, 6-0?
Man, how the f you miss a whole I ain't gonna lie, boy, they ain't got no money. I know Dawg said go get the money, but I know they ain't got no money that night. Hell nah.
They would go on and troll Lil Vernie on how he has missing teeth.
That Lil Vernie got a missing teeth, though.
Yeah, I got shot in my mouth.
Bob, what you say, Bob? Swear to
Yeah, I do. I got shot in my mouth.
You did? You got what?
I got shot in my mouth.
I'm saying, though, I wish that nigga ain't miss your mouth.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
One thing about us, though, we don't do no missing.
Quando would continue antagonizing Lil Vernie while dissing King Von.
Hey, Lil Vernie.
What's the word, 6-0?
And I'm about to go to my partner house, and after that, I'm gonna go to my other partner house. After that, I'm gonna call my other partner, and then my other partner is like that. You know, all of us can still pick up the phone.
You petty as hell.
You know how that go.
I know how a lot of people go.
And that's the fact that niggas mad because the main's
gone. And that's the fact that niggas mad because they main's gone.
August the 19th, 2022. Quando Rondo is in West Hollywood with his cousin Lil Pub. This is a week before Pub was scheduled to appear in front of the Chatham County Supreme Court for RICO charges from October 2019, and is also planning on pleading guilty on attempting to flee the police. So, this could be the last quality time Quando could spend with his cousin Lil Pub before he does time. While they are in LA, the previous night back in Georgia, the Savannah Police Department would receive a call of shots fired on West 38th Street with Phoenix Fendi Odom, a member of Quando's gang, Only the Mob, had been gunned down.
Right now, a man dead, and police are scrambling to figure out who killed him. Here's a look at the crime scene on the west side of Savannah, where you can see investigators gathering evidence for hours overnight.
And 12 hours later, Quando, Rondo, and Lil Pub stopped by a gas station on Beverly Grove. Shortly after, a white sedan and 4 men rolls up. 3 men jump out and start unloading a barrage of bullets towards Quando Rondo, who allegedly was the intended target. But Lil Pub was hit instead and would unfortunately pass away at the hospital.
That second person, not the rapper, but the second person who was hit by gunfire, dies from the gunfire. Let's get right into it. Mikey will give you a look. The gas station here, this is right across the street from the busy Beverly Center on La Cienega. See all that broken glass there? That's where the Escalade's parked. They're getting gas when all of a sudden the windows are blown out by gunfire. They're under attack by bullets flying all over the place. To the left, Mikey will give you a look. See all those white evidence markers on the ground? Each one of those is by a shell casing. Gives you an idea how many rounds are fired.
After being the butt of the joke in the clubhouse conversation, Lil Vernie would take to Instagram and post a message of encouragement, telling Quando to keep his head up. 5 months following the murder of Lil Pub, Quando would memorialize his fallen partner on his song, Long Live Pub. This comes on the back of him denouncing his Crip affiliation because he believes somebody from Crenshaw might have been responsible for Pub's death.
California got real killers, I hate when niggas say Cali weird.
Arguably their most notorious member being Brick Baby, who somehow has a direct link to Chicago's very own Dirk Banks. And on April the 14th, he'll drop the music video to his single Not Enough, and he raps. And if you remember, Quando had been alluding to having $1 million bounty on his head. Regardless of Quando Rondo's public statement denouncing his Rolling 60s gang affiliation, the Savannah Police Department weren't having it, as they filed a 49-count gang indictment against Quando Rondo and 18 other gang members, where they explicitly name Quando as the leader of the Rolling 60 Crips in Savannah, Georgia.
Tyquain Terrell Bowman is a Savannah rapper indicted on gang and drug charges. A Chatham County grand jury indictment accuses him of being a leader of the so-called Rolling 60s gang. He tweeted this message to his family on Friday after turning himself into police. What the tweet doesn't tell is that law enforcement was gathering evidence against him and the gang the day before.
This indictment details an incident where Quando was at the movie theater and noticed members of the 1100 gang in attendance. So, he ordered Rolling 60 gang members to bring guns. But more importantly, prosecutors have phone recordings of Quando.
Damn, bro. Quando Rondo rolling mad deep, like with chops.
Rondo negotiating a back deal with a supplier and then traveling to Macon, Georgia and paying off said supplier.
In my hand is the 17-page, 49-count indictment laying out the charges against Quando Rondo and 18 others that they are facing this morning. The rapper, whose real name is Tyquain Bowman, is accused of being the leader of the Rolling 60s gang here in Savannah. He's also accused of distributing drugs. The indictment says he drove to Macon to pay his supplier for marijuana. We want to remind you, a new Georgia law is cracking down on gang involvement. It adds a mandatory 5-year prison sentence for anyone convicted of a gang crime and 10 years for those convicted of recruiting minors into a gang.
And I've seen a tweet from Young Thug's sister, mad because King Slam can't get his bond approved in the YSL RICO case, but Quando just made bail in his case.
Newsroom tonight in Brooke, the judge set his bond at $100,000.
Yeah, Shannon, and the Chatham County Sheriff's Office confirmed to me this evening that the rapper, whose real name is Tyquain Bowman, was discharged from the jail earlier today. Now, in this bond order, Judge Tammy Stokes noted that she doesn't feel Bowman is a flight risk or that he poses a threat to the community.
If you want to watch my video detailing the YSL RICO indictment.
Okay, that's the vid. Yeah, let me know what y'all think about the situation, bro. I mean, yeah, man, Quando Rondo's been going through it, man. He's ever since that King Von incident, like, yeah, he's been going through it, bro. Let me know if y'all agree that Quando Rondo has been going through it. All right, bro. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. Over checking out you are.